Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we're going to have another interesting episode for you guys that I'm sure is going to get a lot of you guys talking. So let's just go ahead and get into the video here. Now, there are a few names that I want to say before getting into the meat of what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. And these are the names that I want to mention. I'll just say some name for you guys, and you guys tell me if you know who they are. Dwayne Wade, Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, Mike Brown, David Fizdale, J.R. Smith, Anthony Davis, Frank Vogel, Rob Pelinka. What do all of these various people who have been in various locations in the NBA have in common? What do all of these people have in common? What they have in common is this. At one point or another in their professional careers, they were all scapegoats for LeBron James. And now it seems as if we're going to be adding to that list because now the latest scapegoat is Russell Westbrook. And these lists of people, or this list of people, is something that Russell Westbrook should have taken inventory of before he joined the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, as many of you know, Russell Westbrook is an LA native. He is from California. And it is no secret that growing up, his favorite team to root for was the Los Angeles Lakers. But when he started his playing career, as y'all know, he was playing with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then ultimately he moved on to go play with the Washington Wizards. So when Russell Westbrook had an opportunity to go back home, I'm sure he was chomping at the bits to be able to go home and play for his hometown team that he grew up rooting for in the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, what was Russell Westbrook's reputation before he got to the Los Angeles Lakers? Whenever the name Russell Westbrook was brought up, he was known as the triple-double king and a guy that went 150 miles an hour every single time down the court. That was the reputation of Russell Westbrook. But the moment he joined the Lakers, and about 20 to 30 or 40 games into the season, it was clear to see by everyone that Russell Westbrook was quickly turning into the Lakers' scapegoat because of the challenges that they were facing. Now, let me say this. I was one of those people, this channel, this platform was one of the media voices out there that were critical of Russell Westbrook, and it was deservingly so because there were various stretches in this NBA season, I think especially in the month of March, where, was it March or February, where Russell Westbrook was absolutely abysmal. He was playing some of the worst basketball for any star player in the NBA. So it's not like as if what I'm trying to do here is go back and rewrite history. No. A lot of the criticism that Russell Westbrook got, he deserved it, especially with some of the things that he was saying post games, to the media. He was very defiant with fans, talking about everybody's allowed to miss shots. I can miss shots. So it's not like as if I'm sitting here saying that Russell Westbrook is some type of angel. No, he's not. Because a lot of the criticism that he got, he garnered it all on his own. Now, what I am saying is this. Even after all of the criticism he received due to his bad play, it seemed as if at every turn, some people were trying to flat out blame him for all of the struggles that the Lakers went through. And there was one person that was somehow coming out of this fire unscathed. And that person was, as usual, LeBron. I heard at various points towards the end of this NBA season that some people were saying a line that I have heard all too many times throughout the history, throughout LeBron James' career. And that line was, but he doesn't have any help. How many times have we heard throughout LeBron James's career, people say he doesn't have enough help. When going into this season, the Lakers were picked to be the team to represent the West because they had 5 Hall of Famers at the time, 6 because of Rajon Rondo was on the roster, and 4 top 75 players. And now we get to this point in the season, and now people are talking about he doesn't have enough help. This is not the first time we heard this. And Westbrook's reputation has suffered so much, it has gotten to the point that just yesterday, I was listening to an episode of Undisputed, and they were discussing a possibility of Russell Westbrook being traded to the Charlotte Hornets. And they were just talking about Russell Westbrook's total trade value in the marketplace. And now they were actually talking about the possibility, think about it, of waiving a $47 million a year guy next season. So for those of you who missed the exchange between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, take a quick listen to some of the things that they were saying, and then we'll come out here and close this thing out. So take a listen to that.
You really want to have to play Russell Westbrook for a year in Charlotte? He got exposed this year to the point that if they did go with option 2, which is to flat out cut bait.
Can't do that.
Okay. Well, then you prorate what you owe him, so it'd be like 15 or 16 million a year over 3 years. Each of 3 years.
Right.
You'd be in the whole, let's say, minus 16, minus 16, minus 16.
Well, Skip, they just got Luol Deng off the books. Remember, they had Luol Deng's contract hanging around the lake for like 100 years.
Okay, but would it be worth it just to get out from under? It might, because the great Magic Johnson is saying, hey, we're stuck with Russ, so let's just make it work the best we can.
Ain't no such thing as stuck.
Okay, well, that's what he proposed, was that there's no way out.
Skip, but the thing was, Magic, first of all, Magic said at the time, we're going to be a championship contending team when the trade happened with Russ. Seemingly he fell out on Russ also. But Magic knows when you lost the championship, Magic, or things didn't go according to plan, you didn't bring everybody back. You got to make some changes. Clearly, something is not working for the Lakers. Now, you can't reshape the entire roster, but there's a big piece of all of the big guys that you say, okay, who do you really want back? You're going to hold LeBron, give you signs that extension. You praying every single night that Anthony Davis can stay healthy for more than 2 days. Because, Skip, I believe that's your only option.
Okay. The irony, the painful irony, so to speak, of Russell Westbrook, he stays too healthy. Like he's always healthy. I don't even know why he sat last night. He sat one game because he was mad.
Now, I want to come back to my original point, which was this. How much has Russell Westbrook's legacy suffered since he joined LeBron? In my personal opinion, I think what we see going on with Russell Westbrook is the very reason when Kawhi Leonard had an opportunity to go and play with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, he decided to turn them down. He said, I'd rather go play with the Clippers and play with Paul George, who hasn't won an NBA championship, but I'd rather go play with that guy. It's the same reason that KD said the environment around LeBron James is very, very toxic. I think a lot of these people were able to kind of look around the corner, peep around the corner, and see what would happen if and when things go wrong. Because usually what happens when things go wrong on LeBron James-led teams, it's always someone else's fault. Now, there's one thing that did happen at the end of this season that LeBron himself couldn't escape. And that thing was this Lakers team didn't even make the playoffs. So yes, Russell Westbrook's legacy definitely got destroyed, but so did LeBron's. But yet and still, there's still some LeBron James faithfuls that still believe that he doesn't deserve any blame. And it's the reason why we put up a poll yesterday on the channel. And I put it up, and the last option I put on there was really to troll you people, but it was also to kind of illustrate just how delusional some of these guys are. We put up a poll, and we asked the question, who do you think is winning the MVP race, or who do you think is going to be, who do you think deserves, who gets your MVP vote, if you could vote for MVP this season? We had Nikola Jokic, we had Giannis Antetokounmpo, we had Devin Booker, and I believe we had Joel Embiid. And would you believe, of the people that voted, this poll has about 10,000, 11,000 votes. Would you believe that LeBron James received more votes than Devin Booker? LeBron James received more votes than Devin Booker. I put his name up there to show you how some of these guys just can't even resist themselves. They cannot be objective for long enough to give the proper credit to those who had a better season than their favorite player. They still shamefully voted for him. Still, this is what I'm talking about. And in my opinion, if you think getting rid of Russell Westbrook, that will all of a sudden solve the problems for the Los Angeles Lakers next season, then you are living in La La Land for real. The reason the Lakers lost this season was because they refused or seemed incapable of playing any defense whatsoever. They refused to play defense. Russell Westbrook in his entire career never even made one All-NBA defensive team. So I don't know what the hell people thought they were going to get from him. LeBron, who has made multiple All-NBA defensive teams. Anthony Davis, who has made multiple defensive teams. These guys didn't play a drop of defense. Defense was the reason they lost this year. But in the end, Russell Westbrook is now going to be the fall guy, and he joins a very long list of people that have been blamed for the shortcomings of LeBron James. Because you know why? With these guys, it's always someone else's fault. They will give you every single excuse in the book. It gotta be someone else. It can never be them. And that poll that we put up on the channel shows you clearly how these guys think. So these are my thoughts and opinions, and what I want to know from you guys is this. What do you think Russell Westbrook's legacy is going to be after this season? Do you think the Lakers move him, and what solutions do you have for the team? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We'll definitely catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.